color guard posts colors. Please join me in the saying of the Pledge of Allegiance. Scout salute. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Color guard, return to colors. Color guard, return to rings. Color guard dismissed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please be seated.
Thank you.
Roll call, please.
Covert.
Here.
Crowner. Johnson.
Here.
Lees.
Here.
Young.
Here.
All right.
Mayor, she just arrived, so we can keep it at.
Oh, can we keep it there?
We can keep it there.
All right. In that case, I would entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda.
So moved. Support.
Motion and support. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Would now entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Motion to approve is presented.
Support.
Motion and support. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. We'll move on to our staff reports. Greg?
Thank you, Your Honor. A couple of things tonight. I guess, first of all, I'd just like to send out condolences to Brent Schleitzman's family, friends, and the community, the city of Mount Pleasant, on the loss of city manager or city administrator that's been there for 30 years. Park and Rec Department before that. A huge loss for the community. Secondly, happy birthday to Kelly, in case you didn't know. Kelly's birthday tonight. Third, housing survey. It's been posted on social media. We've boosted the posts and advertisement, sent it out to the committee members. We've asked folks to post it and share it. Several of our community organizations, community college, the hospital as well. And want to encourage folks to participate in the housing survey. There's a QR code. There's a link on there as well. We've had 60 as of today complete the survey. Goes till January 13th, and we'd like to get up to 20% of the population if we could. So if we could encourage folks to do that, continue to share that. We'll be sharing it on a weekly basis as well. So keep that survey going as part of the Rural Housing Readiness Assessment, Iowa State and IEDA. Budget calendar. Kelly's going to hand out the current budget calendar. February 4th is the all-day session, Wednesday, February 4th. Continue that process that we did last year as well. Orientation for our new council members, Tony Diaz and Kathy Newberry, is Monday, so look forward to reading through about a foot of material with you. And let's see here. Raters, just a quick update. We've been working through, I've drafted a draft letter of understanding rather than dealing with the acquisition ahead of time, doing a draft letter of understanding, which I'll bring back to council as well. Just kind of wading through that right now, working with Mike Norris and Taylor Collins down at the chamber on that. So I'll bring that back to you. That deals with the RISE and IEDA grant, but doing a letter of understanding or something to that effect rather than doing the transfer ahead of time, with all of the requirements that we suggested. I've also asked Chase if he could do some potholing when we're out there doing the potholing for the easements in the areas that John identified at the last meeting as well. Just as an initial step, we might have to do a phase 1 environmental, but all that will be laid out. The things that we discussed at the last council meeting. Sorry, I can't see several of you. Engineering agreements we're working on, Mount Pleasant Street, which is, I believe, 2027 funding. Agency, we would be looking to apply for TAP funding. They're recommending, I have a meeting Friday, I believe, that we split that in half and do Broadway. The discussions have been Broadway to Gear to make it more palatable from a grant perspective, and then West Burlington Avenue to Broadway is a phase 2 of that. So we're still having those discussions, but I'd like to get that, I need to get that engineering going. You'll see that coming forward. And then the 3 intersections that we discussed doing improvements on, Broadway and Agency and Gear at the mall. And then I'm trying to get the Force Main RFQ put out to council first, of course, but then out as soon as possible as well in the new year. A while back, we talked about solar and home warranty. I sent out some information on solar recently. Encourage you to take a look at that, see if it's something we want to revisit. There's another company that's reached out today, and I will check in with them. And then the other item was the home warranty, the service line program that they've reached out, National League of Cities, the organization that works on that, to see if that's something we're interested in pursuing with our residents. We sent out some information on that quite a while back, but I'm going to send out a 1-pager again with some additional information to see if that's something that we want to bring forward. And it's really more for council support of it, because we certainly, our recommendation at the time was that they reduce the home warranty fees rather than the city taking a portion of those fees. So I'll bring that back to council. And then lastly, I just wanted to thank all of our board members, committee members, and that have been working with the city throughout the past the last couple of years. We've got a lot of work done, and I really appreciate all of those efforts, and the council as well, and then especially our 2 council members that are leaving, Councilmember Johnson and Young. It's been a pleasure to work with you, and appreciate all the things that you've done for the community, and hope to continue to work with you in a different role. But congratulations and thank you, and look forward to working with our new council members, Kathy and Tony. So that's all I have for tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Public Works?
Coal just passes grade 2 and water treatment, and that's what we require to run our water plant or water system. The DNR just came and did a walkthrough of the sewer plant and lift stations today. They do it every year. Just waiting. Sounds like it went pretty well, but they'll send a report. Half of us went to Winfield yesterday for Iowa One call to update us on locates and any regulations that have changed or rules, and then just snow cleanup. So.
Okay, thank you. Jesse, Fire and Police?
Just a couple things. The Firefighter Association every year adopts a couple families here at West Burlington School, and they went and delivered all those presents that they adopted on Sunday. It was good. I was unable to attend, but talked to them on Monday at the meeting, and there was a good turnout for us, and they enjoyed the presents they got from our association. And I pulled the stats for 300 block of East Agency, where we put up the barricades and right turn only, and so far I don't want to say anything, but so far we haven't had any accidents out there. So let's just keep going. We do have some, we have wrote some citations for no left turn violations, and we've been kind of monitoring the U-turns that people have been making out in front of the store, and that's happening, but as of today, I know I just jinxed us, but there has not been any accidents out there.
Has there been anywhere else that,
No, nothing in the parking lots, nothing in front of Harbor Freight at that intersection where they come out. We haven't had anything there. We had an accident right at the intersection of Agency and Broadway, but it wasn't involved with those, those driveways.
We are looking at extending it out about 20 feet.
To the east.
To the east to prevent those cut-throughs, those illegal left turns or U-turns.
I noticed it seems like the light signal there at Broadway and Agency is just a little longer for people to be able to get turns. I don't know whether that was something Public Works did or not, but it's an improvement, seems like.
No, that's all.
Chief, has Walmart made any complaints about congested traffic leaving the parking lots?
No, I haven't heard anything.
I mean, I have not observed anything, but I didn't know if they'd also.
Just wanted to put out a quick update on that, so see how things are going out there.
Anything from the building department?
No, not tonight.
Okay, thank you. Kelly, Angie? Okay. Well, then we'll go to our council.
I know we're losing 2 council members, we're gaining 2 council members as part of democracy. And our 2 that are leaving mostly for, got a lot of grandchildren, the new grandchildren coming in. I'm gonna miss both of you. I've known John a lot longer than Mel, and Mel, I really appreciate your wisdom of words, and the people that served under you in the military, they were very fortunate people. John I've known for a long time, and I know he's done a lot of things for our community. A lot of people don't know that he got involved. I can always remember when he started the wrestling program back in West Burlington. Spent a lot of time with our kids, actually moving mats all over the place, got the programs going. Saturdays with all the juniors, and then when they were building the new buildings out there for the track, he had his family out there, with the football stadium, and not only doing that, but his business that he has on the side, his vehicle business. Many times when I was on patrol, I would stop by and there'd be families there, and they're complimenting John on how he worked with them so they can afford a really good car at a price that they can continue to pay. And I think that's just a compliment of what type of person John and Deb was and is. And not only that, but they pass it on to their kids. And their kids are just like that too. So I'm going to miss you both in here. And I'm welcoming the new council members. I'm looking forward to working with them too. So good luck to you too with the grandkids, all right? Yeah.
John?
well, after that, I'm not so sure. I guess I do want to say that, this is my second time here. I took a leave of absence for a while, and then I came back, and I've enjoyed it. The reason I'm leaving isn't because I don't like it. The reason I'm leaving is because I have to give up some things to get some things done. And I hope if the people will have me back, and if God's willing, that I might get back on sometime. But I guess I would like to say that there's some things I didn't get to finish that I wish, and I hope that the council keeps going forward on it. And one of them is the street on Agency. That's been a goal of mine that I, and I'm sure I share that with some council members here that's wished that longer than I have. So I hope that keeps going. And I would like to see this council get that sign up at the trailhead. And if I can give any advice to that, don't be cheap on that sign. Put a sign up that people can read. You know, it'll cost a little bit more money, but make it so that it's a good sign. There's a couple others that there's some housing. I hope that we get some housing that's in the upper end of the housing. There's some property area that would house that. Just don't give away the farm, if I can give any advice there. So with that said, I thank you all for having me.
Therese?
Well, I'll echo the same sentiments. I've worked with John before, so I knew what I was in for the last 4 years working with him. Always have either a late lunch or a bedtime snack, depending on how much was on the agenda and how much John was going to talk. And Melanie, it's just been a thrill to work with Melanie, and I think this council for the last 4 years have gotten a lot more accomplished than we had the 4 years prior. And I guess we can give credit to our city administrator, but when I sit back and I look what we've done in the last 4 years with you guys on board, we got things done. The ring road, I don't feel like I'm on Mario Kart anymore, avoiding the potholes. That was a dream come true, and we have senior housing. Houses are selling quicker than snot. I mean, I've had 2 houses in the area that I live, and they were sold within 3 weeks of being posted. People want to come to West Burlington and live here. We do have a lower tax rate than Burlington, but we won't hold that against them. And I'm glad that we've looked to the future. We know what else we have to do. We've got a force main that's working on Band-Aids. We hope to get that done. And I'm just really proud for what we've gotten accomplished. And I thank John for coming back for 4 years, even though I begged and borrowed and pleaded for him to come back. And Melanie, it's just been a treat working with you. I mean, you're so full of enthusiasm. It just does wonders for our town and our city. And thanks for sharing. And John, let me know if you decide to run next time so I can take a break. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Melanie?
Thanks. Well, appreciate the kind words, everybody, and it has been a pleasure to work with my fellow council members. Wish Andy were here and he's not. And equally the staff, Chief Logan and Chase and Greg and Kelly and Angie. It's been really good, and I think we've made some good changes to our departmental organizations that have worked out well. And it's because we voted. We chose Jesse to pick up the additional role of the director, and Chase, we were taking a chance on you, and I'm so glad we did, with your youth, your perspective, your energy. We need it. Our city needs that. And this has all been done under the leadership and experience of Greg as he came back as our city administrator. And I appreciate and want to say thank you for bringing me along and teaching me what did you need from me to be an effective council member, for our community of West Burlington. Because what I bring to the table is what our residents want. It's your tax dollars, it's your vote that gets us here, and we as a council help take that input and insight and our knowledge and experience and help set a direction, and you guys executed. You guys are the ones where the rubber meets the road, and thank you. So thanks for making my job easier, because you guys do your job well, and it's been a pleasure and very satisfying. I also want to thank my family for supporting me in as much as listening to many conversations they only knew one side of, and that's what I brought to the table, and I just needed them to listen. So they always agreed, and I really appreciate just their perspective on council. So thank you, and we're leaving it, John, in very good hands. Kathy and Tony, it's exciting, have fun. I'm so glad for stepping up. Took maybe a little twist, hand turning, but we got you there, so exciting next 4 years. And neither John and I are going anywhere. We just need to prioritize our time a little differently, and we each get we get the opportunity to do that in this country that we live in. There are 2 families right now in Iowa that are, mourning the loss of their 2 soldiers who have served, so that it all works out. That they answered the call of our country. so that you and I get the opportunity to continue to make our own decisions in a pretty darn good place. So let's keep making our community better one day at a time. So thanks, everybody, and go Falcons. Thank you.
Well, you took up everything I was going to say. From the point of view that it is a bittersweet sort of thing, that you wish that you could have some of the stability that you had before, but you look forward to the excitement of having new people coming on to help us make the community better. So we do have a thank you from the city for both of you. So Melanie, certificate of recognition and appreciation. Thank you so much for being on. It's been a pleasure to serve with you.
Thanks.
I hope another time. Yes.
We'll see you down the street.
Yes.
Oh, you want to? Can I raise your name? Yeah.
How about there?
There we go. Got a flag in the back. Thanks.
And John, also, thank you. And certainly, it's been a pleasure working with you, and we've had our little conversations back and forth. It's been nice.
Hey,
Thank
it's
you.
been a good one.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mayor.
Now, I also want to push this, which is the housing survey. I suspect a number of our community can go right to the QR code, go right on there and take that without any problem. But then I also know there will be members of the community that would be difficult for them to do. So there is a website just underneath here that you could go to, and we have a tiny URL on that so that it's easy for you to go to it. But if that's still all too much, we'll have paper copies available here at City Hall, and I'm going to try to have them in the banks in town so that you can take that. I also want to mention that it's not just for West Burlington citizens, because it's people that use our community either through the school systems or through the commercial establishments we have here. So it's kind of an open-ended type of thing. The survey will actually pull out some of the aggregate of that so we know more about what people would like for housing. So that's, again, another item that we want to be working on. And with that, do I have any citizen inquiries this evening? If not, then I'll move on to new business, since we have no old business. Our first item is considering renewal of a property and casualty insurance for 2026.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the council, staff. Again, my name's Cody Van Fleet. I'm your insurance agent with World Insurance, formerly Two Rivers Insurance downtown. First of all, I want to thank John and Melanie for your guys' service. While I've never been on a city council, I was roped into a high school coaching job 2 years ago, and so I know what it's like when you get called, and I think it's a great thing that you guys did, and we all have to. I think we all should do something. I always say that to my kids. We need to do something, and do what you're passionate about, whether that be working on a council or volunteering at your church or being a basketball coach. We all have something that we can give to our community. And so I want to thank you for your time and what you've done. John, you also talked about unfinished business. And about a year ago today, I was given a task, which is try to get the insurance pricing down. And we saw a very significant increase last year due to market changes, due to loss ratios, not on from the city, but just nationwide. And so we were very fortunate last year, or this year, to send everything out to market and be able to get some renewal numbers from our current carrier that were more positive, as well as a new carrier, EMC, that came in and also gave us a very good number. So what I'm going to do here quickly is just give you a rundown of our current policy, what the changes are, why it's a little bit cheaper than last year, and what the new carrier, EMC, is proposing and offering to us tonight. So first, let's go with Provident, the carrier that we've had for the last 2 years. Provident has had, through the Iowa Municipal Group, Pete Holt, which does an amazing job. We've worked with him both with this group and Continental Western that we had before. They are a broker up in central Iowa. And they moved us to the Muni program for Provident. Muni, short for municipal. And obviously, we took a significant increase last year. This year, they moved the policy into two different types of policies. They had the Muni program, which was what we were a part of, and what we now call the Muni Plus program. The Muni Plus is built for cities of a little larger size, and we just made it into that due to the amount of property that we have, the amount of police officers we have, and the amount of our insurance premium. So we were able to move into the Muni Plus, which actually gave us a little bit better rates and a little bit of a discount. So our renewal numbers this year with Provident were slightly less than what we saw this current term. So it actually went down for the first time in a few years, which is good. Oh. Yeah, you don't see that too often. I don't have too many of these meetings. However, we did also get a offer to write your business from EMC through the Jester Group. And Iowa has their Iowa Municipal Pool Group. And EMC has multiple pools. They have them with schools, they have them with petroleum, and they also have them with municipal groups. And the way the EMC pools work is everybody's kind of in it together and the losses are calculated together, and they have a dividend program. And how this works is if you have a good year as a group, so if all the municipal groups with EMC in the state of Iowa have a group, they cap the profits at a certain number, and whatever is left is dividend and given back to those cities in a dividend. So we were able to obtain an offer from EMC to join their Iowa municipal program, as well as be a part of that dividend program as well. And so I believe you all have the information that, what I did was I tried to put together the notes, the advantages of both sides. And this is a hard one for me because I work with both companies. I respect both companies. Both companies have, pros and cons. What I can tell you is both carriers are municipal programs. So they have an actual insurance policy that is built for municipal groups, police and fire, proper coverages. The advantage of the Provident, your current carrier, the Muni Plus, is that it's broken out into two separate policies, similar to what Continental Western had. So you have a police and fire section, and then you have everything else. EMC's has it in one big policy. So if you had a large claim on a police and fire side, it wouldn't necessarily go into the loss ratio of your pool or your city, and vice versa. If you had a large claim at the pool or at City Hall, it wouldn't go into the police and fire pool, so to speak. Obviously, the EMC's quote is financially cheaper. It also provides, potentially dividend. The dividend is paid out for most years. I think 2021, after the derecho, was one of the few years in the last 10 that it did not have one. And so that's obviously a positive. There's potential to get some money back that can help offset increases in the future. So with that being said, I do want to kind of leave it up for questions. The other thing that we are going through right now is the EMC policy normally excludes fireworks. Now, however, we have been talking to them about how to make this work for us, because obviously our 4th of July celebration is a huge part of what makes our community great. And so we've worked out what we feel is a solution for that, and that we're still reviewing some contracts. If we have to add that on, the cost to add a one-day special policy simply for that event would not be more than the amount of the difference between the two policies. But there is a chance, based on the contract that we have, that you have with the group that does your fireworks, that we might be able to have EMC put that coverage back on. So we're still kind of reviewing that, but unfortunately, we're trying to get the contracts and go through that. But if we were able to add it back on, it would be a charge of about $300. So it's not going to be a huge difference for that. Does anyone have any questions?
We're also going to take a look at the a broader cyber policy as well.
Oh, yes, my apologies. Yes, the Provident current policy does not have the upcoming quote does not have a cyber policy built into it, whereas the EMC policy does. However, we are also looking at what I would call a monoline cyber policy. The policy that EMC includes is a good policy, but we sometimes look for a little more broad coverage through monoline groups that maybe you can add more coverage, or we can look at adding more coverage to the EMC or Provident. Well, Provident doesn't offer one, so we would have to go monoline should we stay with them. But yes, thank you.
And it's our recommendation to go with EMC as well, based on prior experience here in other communities, personally as well, and past experience with current carrier. So
we did go to Travelers. They were not going to be a market. We looked at them 2 years ago, and the price was significantly higher. Again, I'm really excited to be able to offer you a discount.
Yeah.
This is not something I get to do every day. So when I get to do it,
with a good carrier, and they're Iowa-based.
yes, based out of Des Moines. So again, the West Burlington School District is also part of an EMC group, and also, you know, we've worked with them for several years. They don't just do schools and municipals; they do other groups. But again, the Iowa Municipal Group has been a fantastic partner, both before Provident when they were with Continental Western, but when we moved to Continental Western, I want to say it was 10, 12 years ago, it was from EMC to them. So they do have experience working with your city. I do not want to damage the relationship with any carrier because you just never know. You never know. And so, but I think that both of these groups have done a good job. Unfortunately, the increase that we saw last year shocked you, shocked me, and led to us taking this out to market with a much more serious approach this year, and we were able to get a better solution in our mind for you.
Cody, thanks a lot, because I know last year you being a messenger of that bad news, you was in a hot seat, and I feel bad for you, being that you was the messenger, and this year you got a lot
Life of a
better
coach.
messenger, yes.
The life of a coach.
And I've been bugging Angie since August, because I promised myself I didn't want to be zapped like that
Yep.
again. And she's been, I know her and Greg's been on top
Yeah.
of it too with you, so thank
Yeah.
you very much.
No,
Thanks for
and yeah, you know, it's a lot of work for Angela and Greg and Kelly to go through all this. Just so you know, our work comp insurance is through the IMWCA. That's a 7-1. This doesn't have anything to do with that, so obviously we can still stay with IMWCA. They've been a great partner. And so this is strictly for our auto, our property, our liability, things like that. But no, it's nobody likes bringing bad news. Nobody, even in my world, we don't like talking about increases. It's hard. We get it. And so, you know, we want to give you guys a better solution. And obviously, we care about our community, and we care about our taxpayers, and we want to make sure you guys are taken care of. So
Cody, with it being a group of cities,
Mhm.
and is there more of a chance of being kicked out of that group if something bad happened, like
Like a tornado?
no, like a police officer came in drunk, hit somebody and got shot? I mean, I'm talking something really bad that was negligent on the city's behalf. you know?
Yes,
Is there a
that's-
way that we can get kicked out of that easier?
Absolutely. Well, I mean,
Or is
not
it-
easier. It doesn't matter what carrier you go with. If your loss ratio is too high, carriers have a tendency to non-renew. And we do see that nowadays. We also see with like Continental Western, if the group as a whole the losses are too high, Continental Western with us 2 years ago said, we're getting out of the state of Iowa.
Yeah.
We're not going to have municipal groups anymore.
That's
So,
why I was bringing that up.
yeah, so it's always a possibility, and that's,
I haven't-
yeah.
In 27 years, I haven't had
No.
an insurance carrier back out based on your loss ratio, but I have had them back out because they're getting out of business. We have fewer and fewer insurance providers or carriers that are servicing municipal entities. And that seems to be the bigger issue.
Yes, yes,
Okay. Well, thank you. Yeah, that's,
yeah.
I got to move this poinsettia.
Well, good, if you move that one, I'll move this one. It's the plants talking at me.
I know. Well, I like hiding behind it, but then you can't see me when I talk.
I'd rather that one be moved over just a little bit.
Thank you. Should have done that earlier.
I know. I am tickled pink and pleased to death with this new quote. I mean, last year, I think we were gonna do CPR on all of us when we saw that increase. It's like, holy moly. And I agree with Ringo that I'm glad we got an earlier start with the figures and numbers and all that stuff. And
Yeah, and we had the numbers before the last meeting, but they were very close. And to be honest, I wanted to ask questions to both carriers. But before your last meeting, I had a chance before the holiday to meet with Greg and Angela and advise them that, both indications were coming in below your current premium. So we felt like not only were we not going to see a shock, but we could see a decrease. And this year, the EMC renewals were somewhere in the 5 to 6% increase range, because that's a question also that I asked is, our schools have gone up considerably over the last 6-7 years. And a lot of carriers have gone up considerably over the last 6-7 years. And so one of the things that I did also ask EMC is, what has your last 3 years of increases looked like? So that I could see, are we stepping in from one area to a similar thing of larger increases? And I think that the deductibles on property have increased across the board. Everybody now has either a percentage deductible. Our large buildings here with EMC have a 1% deductible, but that's only affecting a few areas. The transportation barn out on Mount Pleasant Street, part of the waterworks, but again, a lot of that is concrete and water tower. And then obviously the pool is a multi-million-dollar structure. However, with EMC, the plan would be to split that out into separate buildings. The fencing, the slides, make that separate, so that way you wouldn't have one piece that the 1% would be that much greater than what the other carrier's wind hail deductible is, which is $25,000. But most carriers nowadays have at least a $15,000 to $25,000 wind hail deductible. And so it's, and then auto is also a loss leader now for us. There is no more $900 bumper claim, because you have sensors, you have cameras, you have calibrations, you have inflation. And so, most of ours have gone up. But does anybody have any questions? Any more questions?
I do have
Yes.
one on the municipal, the Muni Plus package. Is there a deductible? I thought I read there was like $2,500, or is there no deductible on that one? I mean,
Are you talking about property?
anywhere, because I'm seeing, I guess the yes would be on property.
So
because-
there is a wind hail deductible of $25,000 and then $10,000 on regular
Okay,
property.
you just show it for the EMC, two options, a deductible up there.
Yeah,
not for
so
that one,
EMC, since they wanted to match the $25,000 wind hail,
Okay,
or the $25,000 that would match what a wind hail deductible would look like. Again, for the first number, option one, that is a $10,000 building for anything but wind hail.
gotcha.
And then at wind hail, it would be either 1% of that building's replacement cost value or $10,000, whichever is greater. So,
Thank
Cody,
you.
it's funny, I have a friend that she ran into a mailbox, a steel mailbox that scratched her bumper, her fender, and it was $7,500. And I mean scratched, it wasn't replacing anything.
Yep.
It's crazy on the cost, because they
Yeah.
had to reprogram the lights and, oh,
yeah, and that's why we're seeing more salvage titles, because a lot of these, it gets so expensive that more and more vehicles are being totaled because the cost to fix them is so great. And, you know, and then there's Tesla, you know, all the technology that goes into these new automated cars. It's pretty crazy. Okay.
Cody?
Yes.
Just one more quick question.
Sure.
So do you have the figures of what the pool actually costs for insurance?
Not here with me, but I'm sure we could get that, break that down. The difference between the two is the Provident quote has it built as a certain number of replacement, and it's around $4 million, I believe. And that's everything. That's the concrete, that's the pool, that's the slides, that's the snack shack and lifeguard station, all that. But I don't know what that number is to actually insure. I do know that, you know, it's multiple things. It's general liability, it's obviously the property, and then it's the workers' compensation for your lifeguards. So
So could you get me, if we filled that in with sand? I'm just curious. If we filled it in with sand that no longer existed, what would that save us?
okay. Or if somebody came in and said, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to privately run it, and you guys are going to sell it to me for $1, what would it? If we were to just say, Cody, we're no longer in the pool business,
Yeah.
what would it save? Yeah.
You wouldn't mind sharing that same information to me, I'd appreciate it.
Sure.
Well, I'll send it out to everybody.
Okay.
Yep. Thank you, Cody.
Thank you, Cody. Seeing no more questions, entertain a motion to...
Adjourn?
No, I would not entertain that motion. But I would entertain a motion to renew the property and casual insurance for 2026.
So moved.
Support?
Just to clarify, it's not it's a new policy with EMC, but just,
So I guess, yeah, the question is do you want to stay with your current carrier Provident, or would you like to move to the EMC option 1?
I'm going to modify it and make it with the EMC 1 for $150,814.
That's the recommendation, right?
Yes.
yes.
I didn't hear a second, I'm sorry.
And I'll support that one.
Okay, thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
And again,
Cody.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
your service. Appreciate
Have a
it.
good holiday.
Yes, thank you.
Number 2, we're going to consider the renewal of an employee wellness program for 2026.
Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Sorry for my coughing attack earlier. Hopefully you guys all have the packet, correct?
Yep.
You have all those information? Wonderful. So I do want to kind of just start off talking about like what happened this year. First and foremost, we had quite a few new people join the wellness program, which is fantastic. We went from 13 people up to 17, so I think that's great. We had way more participation this year. I'm going to test it to some of our younger ones that maybe have been coming a little bit more, so thanks to Chase a little bit. But if you do look at our numbers, and you're going to see that relatively the biometrics didn't change a whole lot. So they've kind of stayed very kind of similar to past years. We've not gotten really big changes or shifts in those biometric numbers. Those take time to do, especially when you have so many new people joining the wellness program. But ultimately, I'm very happy that we've had much more participation. So you'll notice, even for preventative exams, people are turning their preventative exams to me. I do hound them a little bit to go to the doctor and get them, but they are turning them in. And so you can see that we had a bigger number turn in more preventative exams this year than they have in the past years. So very happy about that. I'm also very happy about our seminar attendance, our education, our wellness walks. Those are greatly attended, so in the column of 2025, you will actually notice those numbers are very similar to what we had back in 2022. So way better participation than the last 2 years combined, in my opinion. The challenges this year, so to give you an idea of our quarterly program that we did, each quarter obviously had a topic that was part of a newsletter, a seminar, and then a challenge. So our quarter one was all about cardiac. So we talked about stroke awareness, heart attacks, and then doing a cardio challenge to help improve heart health. Quarter two is about sleep. So we talked about the different stages of sleep cycles that we went through, how does sleep affect your health, apparently, and then how do we manage sleep. And then, of course, their challenge was to track your sleep. How did it affect you? How did you feel waking up in the morning? Quarter three was about cancer. Cancer is a really big boom in Iowa right now. I think we're number 3 in the United States for cancer. And so that was a really big topic that they wanted to learn about. So what are the common types of cancer that we're seeing? How do we prevent it? And then their seminar or their challenge was to do a cancer prevention quiz for themselves to learn about their own health, and then try to do activities that help prevent cancer. And they would track those. Quarter four was about autoimmune and inflammation. So autoimmune diseases are also very heavily on the rise. So we talked about how inflammation is impacted in the body through the environment, through the choices that you make daily, and then also making changes in your diet or your physical activity to reduce inflammation, to hopefully reduce autoimmune issues. So those were kind of the breakdowns of what the program looked like this year. And we had really great numbers for coming to those attendances of education and wellness walks and participating in the challenges. So I was very happy about that. For the police and the administrator side, so obviously we continued with the police fitness testing that we've been doing for many years. Those did really well. We did have not as many police officers per se do the program as we've had in the past, but the ones that have been doing it have been continuing on. So we kind of have the core group there at least. But we did have several that did the fitness testing, and they all improved in numerous categories of push-up, sit-up, their flexibility for shoulders, their vertical jump, agility run, their 300-meter run, and a leg press, which is looking at their strength. And so even still of me making sure that they don't sandbag the fitness test, which has happened in the past, they've had to basically remain more fit a little bit longer, and that pushes them to try to do some type of a fitness change. And so those are still getting better. And so hopefully we continue that. You're going to see that along the way. The administration side, their independent program was called the Health Trip Challenge. So every week they would get an email from me with information about some type of health topic. So there was some weird city thing that we did. So each city had a different topic, and they kind of like, instead of Albuquerque, it was like Aerobicurque. So it was like aerobics, basically. So they would learn something about that, and then they would track their fitness steps that they would do daily, and they would get points for that. And we had 5 employees on that complete it. So that was great. This year, for rewards, we had a pretty big payout because we did have a lot more participation, which was wonderful. So we had 14 out of 16 earn enough points to get a reward. The tier 1 reward, was 8 employees this year, and last year was only 5. So I think that goes to show you just how much of a participation improvement we've had. Only 2 employees did not earn enough points to get an actual reward. So out of, 17 originally that started, 14 getting a reward, I think that's pretty good on my end. For the proposal of next year, we're not going to change much, right? We're not going to try and change anything that's been working well, so we'll still have the quarterly program. We're going to still continue on with the wellness challenges and seminars and wellness walks in that regard. We have changed our topics a little bit this year that are going to be heavily focused on one of the biometrics that needs improvement, which is glucose. So prediabetes and diabetes is a very common illness and condition that we are seeing continue to rise, not just within Iowa, but also in the United States. You know, physical inactivity, diet choices are a very common problem with that. So that's going to be an entire quarter that we're going to focus on, is what is the difference between type 1, type 2 diabetes? How do we manage our glucose and insulin levels? And we're doing a lot of food tracking to look at their choices to make those changes. Quarter 2 is going to be earth friendly, so we're actually going to piggyback on Earth Day. And part of their challenge for that is going to be cleanup. So you're going to be seeing your people out doing a cleanup for a challenge and earning points for that.
Sure,
So
the council will be happy to join us.
I know. I hope that they can. I hope we can make it kind of a whole city thing. So that's going to be really fun. Quarter 3 is going to be talking kind of about just more exercise, different types. So cardio versus lifting, workout shoes are a big topic, and then doing an indoor triathlon using the equipment downstairs. And quarter 4 is about cognition. So everyone's always talking about brain health. That's a big hot topic, right? How do we prevent dementia, Alzheimer's? So just cognitive decline in general. So we're going to discuss that, how exercise is important for cognition. And they're going to be doing some cognitive tests on their own as their challenge. So I think this will be a fun program year to see what happens. Police program for their self will still be the fitness assessment. And the administration side, they're going to do an exercise challenge this year, but it's going to be a wall sit or a plank challenge. It's going to be okay, Kelly. So you're just going to be holding a wall sit or a plank, and you're going to see if we can improve upon that in, a few weeks. So again, we're not reinventing the wheel here. The program pretty much is going to be similar. The price-wise is just going to be a little bit more because we have 2 new employees that want to partake. So we're going to have to do some wellness screenings with them. So otherwise, you're not seeing a really big increase at all for the price of the program. I'm nice. I don't come with big problems for you.
Are we looking at the price of $4,925?
Correct. That is your proposal for 2026.
It's an increase of $520 from last year.
Sarah, how long have you been doing this now for us?
For you guys,
Yes.
since 2018?
Pretty sure it has
I
been.
think end of 2017, maybe beginning of 2018.
I like how you keep infusing new things that's happening in our state and our communities with the health programs and stuff. And I know it's tough to energize people who don't really want to do it, and to keep them actively involved. And I like your new ideas, and actually some of the stuff here would apply to us older generations, like the weightlifting versus the cardio. What's important, because I work out in the mornings at the hospital and I see people in their late 80s still doing lifting, and they know Tara, and so I think that's pretty cool. I've always been a strong supporter of this program. I know it's always, and I always repeat it, but it helped improve my physical lifestyle and probably saved my life at one time. And I continue to use some of the contacts that Tara provided me, even after I retired. If I believe, even though the guys in the shop and we have, they're doing physical activities, strenuous and stuff like that, and then our officers, of course. If an officer doesn't take advantage of this, and they feel like they're out of shape later on, it's all on them, because we have a great program that offers. And I think we was one of the first ones, wasn't we, Chief, that started this program in our county for employees. And I think it's a real important program, I do. And I want to thank you very much for the time you put into it, because I know you put a lot more time into it than what the normal stuff. You answer a lot of questions, you've always been there, and it has been very helpful. And I've actually had several employees that come up and said they wasn't going to be here tonight, but they support the program entirely and they appreciate it.
Thank you.
So thank you.
IGHCP is our health insurance pool. I'm on the wellness committee for that. And there's a big push to get more communities to invest in wellness programs across the state of Iowa, and in our specific health insurance pool as well. I think by far, we've got one of the best programs across the state, just based on what I've seen from other communities in that IGHC pool. So I look forward to continue participating. It's a good program. So
I was wondering if maybe you could start a program where you could work on maybe the upper body part, like the
Arm wrestle.
like the chest and the shoulders and stuff like that. And then to expand it a little bit, like from community to community, you could have an arm wrestling tournament on the 4th of July and
That would
invite
be a
other communities
great
to
way
it. And
to-
then maybe, there's, just wondering.
It's all about the technique there.
Yeah.
and wear those
Just-
high
just
heels.
kidding.
No, I think it's hilarious. Do it. Be a great fundraiser.
Yeah.
Fun and fundraiser.
No further questions. I would entertain a motion to approve this.
So moved.
Motion. I'll support that.
Thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. A motion
Thank
carried.
you, guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a good
Thank you.
holiday.
Thanks for coming.
Number 3, we have an ordinance amending Chapter 79 of the City Code to establish no parking zone at the end of Spring Street. And before we have any discussion, I would like a motion on that.
So moved.
Motion second, thank you. Discussion then?
And what brought this about? Can we discuss
Talked
it?
a little bit about it, I believe, at one of our previous meetings. It's an annual problem we have. It's hard to turn around just in general. It's harder to turn around during winter operations. We try not to do snow emergencies at every case. We've done one so far this year. But it's extremely harder for Public Works to get turned around in there, especially during winter operations. We have some problem parking, or individual with some parking issues down there. We'd like to keep that end open so that it's easier for equipment to get in and around out there. That's really all there is to it. We'd like to, it'll help our operations and make things much more smooth back there. It's hard to turn around down there at the end.
Typically, now our code requires a cul-de-sac and like that for turning around, and there's nothing down there, just the end of the street the same width, so it's.
So, but there hasn't been no new houses go up, or there hasn't been anything there that's changed this situation?
Just more
Lack of
people park.
lack of cooperation and the need to ticket and failure to move during winter operations.
It's difficult to turn around without a car there.
Yes.
When you have a plow and a truck, but when there's a car there, it's very difficult not to hit anything, to get turned around. You already have to go in people's driveways, even when there's not a car there. But when there is, it's difficult to get, especially a bigger truck, turn around right there.
I'm not so sure if I'm not opposed to doing this, but I am kind of opposed to reading the second and third readings without hearing from the people, which is the next one down.
Okay.
I
If this passes, then
Yeah.
we'll discuss that,
discussed
okay?
that, yeah. So I just thought I'd throw it out there now.
Okay. We'll call for a roll call.
Johnson,
Aye.
Dees,
Aye.
Young,
Aye.
Covert.
Aye.
Motion passes. So let's go to number 3, which is the one John was talking about just now. Number 4. Consider the resolution waiving the second and final readings of the ordinance establishing a no parking zone at the end of Spring Street. Do I have a motion for that?
So moved.
Second.
Motion second. Discussion now.
As I was saying, there's no doubt in my mind that it probably needs to be done, but I would like to hear, well, I guess I won't hear, but I think the public ought to have the opportunity to come up. Maybe there's something we don't see. And you might be able to waive the third
Third
reading
final.
next meeting, so I would.
So this came about just because we were plowing snow and couldn't turn around, or how often do you
It's
guys?
it's
go
been a
down that
topic since I've been here.
Cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
How many times do you make your way down that cul-de-sac? in a week.
Every time it
Well,
snows.
There's no cul-de-sac, the road just ends into
Yeah.
people's
It's
private
like a
driveways.
dumbbell.
Not even that. That's not the one they're talking about. You come to the end, you have to turn right into the Reed's driveway or left into the west place. And if you have to turn around, you're doing a 36-point turn with the car and hopefully don't hit anything.
And if
Or
the
you're
car-
doing it in their private property.
If a car is parked there far enough up, it's gonna be close to the driveway. It's been a topic since I've been here, and it just got brought up again since it started snowing, so.
You are correct, though, you have to go in the region of the west, the driveways to do a proper, safe turn.
Do we have a sign posted saying a dead end?
Yes,
No, yeah.
there is a dead end sign at that street.
There is.
Yeah.
What's the garbage truck do? Do they back down that thing to pick the trash up? 'Cause that's a big truck and they gotta go every week.
They would have to.
They use I think they have a smaller truck for
I guess I haven't paid attention to that.
streets
I
like
was-
that.
I don't think so, not if they got the green cans.
Well, I think that they do have a smaller
I don't know.
vehicle for,
I'm not sure on that. I haven't
They
paid much
back
attention.
down. And so does, or the recycling truck and trailer. They either back down or they back one way or the other way. They back all the way up and down that. Because they have to turn the garbage truck around to get the other
Both
lane. So
sides.
they have to back out, turn around and go back down the other direction.
You know, if we give the community the opportunity to speak at this, they would at least know why we're doing it, you know, if they came up here and had a disagreement, than just doing it, so.
I look at it this way, John, if it affects anybody, it's only affecting 4 houses. That'd be the Reed in the west, which I know they would not have a complaint. I'm sure they would not have a complaint. They have fewer people in the driveway. That leaves the other 2 homes in. I personally couldn't imagine anybody out, those 2 even complaining about it. And the people further to the north, I don't know why they would complain if it wouldn't even affect them at all, down at that very end.
And that's my point, but
Yeah.
you know, and
So those 4 residents, how many of them park in the street?
One,
Just one?
yeah. And there's a daycare at the end that drops off and the kids off. But that spot's normally taken anyway, so.
I guess I'm just looking at a better, or, to me, it's more of a chance to explain why, if they were up here and they had a disagreement on it. Sounds like it needs to be done, but I think they deserve the, and what are we talking, a couple of weeks? Next council meeting? That's my 2 cents.
Anybody want that motion to be amended to then waive the second reading, but not the final reading?
Yeah, I'd go along with that. Let's get the second one done, leave the third one for January, and if people don't want it, they'd come and let their voices be heard.
I'd go with that.
Do what?
We're amending, we would amend this to waive the second reading only, but not the final reading. So the final reading would be in January.
So give people a chance to talk, come in and express their concern between now and the next council meeting in January.
But
So-
what's the difference of giving them a,
It does the same thing, John, it's just.
It does the same
It
thing.
does the same thing
Yeah.
either way you do it.
you know,
It's
if
just,
there's
bit of
people that
semantics.
comes up next,
at the next meeting, you'd waive the,
you waive the third reading.
Sure.
you'd waive the
Doesn't make
third,
any difference way.
you'd waive the third reading, or the final reading.
Well, in that case, if you want to defeat this particular motion, then that's what we would do with that.
So we should probably vote against this and then,
Then next,
no, and then
Approve the second
she
and
can
final reading
waive,
at
or
the next meeting.
you can amend your motion to waive the third reading.
Yes,
yes, you could. You want to do that?
I would like to amend my motion that we only approve the second reading this evening and postpone the third reading of this ordinance to the meeting in January.
So you're waiving one reading.
Yes.
Correct.
They're waiving the final reading.
The third
We'll
and
do
final
the
reading will be in
second.
January.
I think it's less confusing if you just defeat this, and then
Yeah,
the
just
next one
defeat
will bring we'll bring the second reading before council and a resolution to waive the final.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
You're
can do
just
that.
waive this one.
Yeah.
Your Honor,
Yes.
I volunteered to go talk to the residents before next meeting that live
Okay.
down that inn
All
and
right.
get their opinion.
Okay.
Even if they can't show, we'll know for sure then
Okay.
for our next meeting.
Sounds great. Thank you. In that case, I'll call for a roll call.
What are we voting on?
This
You're
is
voting to defeat this particular
Perfect, okay.
resolution, so
Lees,
Nay.
Young,
Nay.
Covert,
Nay.
Johnson.
Nay.
motion is defeated. We'll go to number 5. Consider a side letter of agreement between the city and the police union, CWA, regarding working hours and paid time off.
Motion approved.
Support that.
Motion and support. Thank you. Discussion on this?
I think this is a good compromise. The chief can certainly speak to it, but we get more hours, 29 hours of PTO, or that the officer would use. We would have 5 12-hour shifts, 2 8-hour shifts. Officers are in favor of it. It's our recommendation as well. We get more hours. There's no additional cost other than the chief will work with the officers to find those 29 hours to take off that works with their schedules. And I think it's a win-win all the way around. So,
So Chief, what do you see that's not good about this?
Everybody in the union was in agreeance with it except for one officer. He liked his 8-hour shifts. But he says he's fine with it. It's a little bit more coverage for what the manpower that we have, which is a good thing for the city. So, we got a little bit of be able to adjust a few things as needed to be fit, but no, it's good.
yeah, and we're working with PTO rather than overtime, and so it's a win-win, I think. So, good compromise.
Sounds
In
good.
that case, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, consider a letter, 6, I'm sorry. Consider a letter of understanding between the city and the police union, CWA, related to vacation and wage scale for Officer Brick.
Motion approved.
Support.
Motion and support.
The council's already approved both the terms and conditions. This is just the formal document for both officers that reiterates the council action that was already taken. This will just be the formal side letters that we attach to the agreement.
Okay. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Number 7, consider a letter of understanding between the city and the police union, CWA, related to vacation and wage scale for Officer Mist.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion and support. Any discussion?
Just one thing, Your Honor.
Yes.
I have talked to some of the officers, and everybody is really enjoying having these 2 new officers on board. They're doing a great job, and I greatly appreciate them being here and doing it.
Okay, all in favor signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? Motion carries. Number 8, consider a resolution appointing a city clerk.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion and support. Roll call, please.
Young,
Aye.
Covert,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lees,
Aye.
Motion carries. Kelly, would you like to be installed at this time?
no, I'd rather you swear at me later.
Oh, I swear at you later.
That was tough enough right there.
All right. Consider resolution appointing a deputy city clerk.
Motion approved.
Support.
Motion and support.
That would be Katie Wilford for people who don't know.
That's correct.
Aye.
We love you, Kelly.
Covert,
Roll call,
Aye.
please. Yes.
Covert,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lees,
Oh, aye.
Young.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 10, consider a resolution assigning the official newspaper for the city.
Motion to approve Burlington Beacon and the Hawkeye.
Support.
Motion and support. Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lees,
Aye.
Young,
Aye.
Covert.
Aye.
Motion carries. Number 11, consider a resolution setting date for public hearing on the January 2026 Urban Renewal Plan Amendment.
Motion to approve.
Support.
Motion and support, thank you.
This kicks off our process for the urban renewal plan amendment. This updates a number of projects that are coming forward, both city projects and potential housing projects as well. The numbers in here are slightly inflated to account for any number of things, inflation or whatever might happen. This is simply the plan, and it has to be in the plan before you can do a project. And then the actual numbers would be approved, obviously, when the project is done or the TIF agreement is approved. This project, or this whole process will culminate with the adoption of the urban renewal amendment, and then the TIF agreement with, for the 19 home workforce housing tax credit project, which is included in the amendment as well as the, should have all of the projects that we've discussed, capital projects as well, included in here that are potential sources of TIF. Not necessarily that you will fund it out of here, but that you may fund it out of here.
Or partial.
Or partially. Correct. Hopefully, grants, et cetera, Agency Street, perhaps there's a grant. Mount Pleasant, for example, is in here. We have a $1.3 million grant for a little over $2 million project, so that's offset.
Roll call, please.
Johnson,
Aye.
Lees,
Aye.
Young,
Aye.
Covert.
Aye.
Motion carries. Our last item, review of proposed zoning and subdivision code updates.
This is just really more of an update for tonight. Franny will be providing a summary of changes that she did last time to the zoning code and the subdivision. So we'd like to get this wrapped up finally. There's a couple changes yet to be made, but she'll be writing a summary page for you. You may want to go back and look at that last one that she had put together. We could send a link out to that too. This will be going to planning and zoning for one last hearing, then coming before council for final action on review and adoption of the zoning ordinance, the subdivision ordinance, and those changes. Just a reminder that I guess our initial goal was to make it easier to use, to update it. It hadn't been updated in years. Well, sufficiently updated, I guess we'd say. But to make it easier to use for both the public and ourselves, and to bring forward, I guess, modernize it, update it, were kind of our initial goals with the zoning ordinance and the subdivision code. So we'll be bringing that forward for adoption starting in January.
Andy did have he did look through this one that's on the agenda, and he had some comments that he wanted me to share, so I'm gonna pass those down. Some of the things we're addressing too, but we'll have those tweaked or his questions answered before it comes back to you, but I
Are
will
these
share this with you.
packets, each person take a packet?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah.
I don't know if,
As he couldn't be, he wanted to make sure he had some comments tonight. He understands that we're not
same.
acting on it tonight, but he wanted to provide you that. But there'll be some more information coming, a summary of changes put together by Franny
They're all the same.
with Bolton and me.
same.
There's one set. There's another set.
That's really all there is. There's no action required.
No
We
action
just
required?
Encourage you to start reading through it again, and you'll get that summary of changes. You have a red line version and a clean version, and, right.
Yeah.
And there'll be a summary of changes coming from Franny as well that we'll send out.
Well, with that, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move. John, did you want to move to adjourn?
No,
Okay.
you can, but I just had one other question.
Sorry, we're
I
adjourned.
guess I missed it. Were we gonna talk about the logo? sometime.
Next meeting, I think it's on the agenda for next meeting. So I just totally erased your comments on here.
I'm sure you did.
No, yeah, they're at the next meeting, but I do have your feedback on here, and I'll certainly bring that forward at the next meeting as well, John. Just, John prefers this logo here, but I'll be sure to point it out, and you're certainly welcome to attend any council meeting you like in the future as well.
Beginning of the meeting, I'll ask for input.
But the council did ask that it be brought forward with the next
new council, yeah.
council members coming up.
Right.
So are you going to recommend, or?
I'll be
I'd like
sure to
to
point out the
recommend
one that I favor.
In this meeting.
Do I have a second to that?
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.